Hey there, my name's Dave, and this is a new Magic channel. So who am I, and why have I started a new Magic channel? I'm no one really. I'm your average game player. I think I'd like to think of myself as a pretty much an average Magic player, both in limited and in constructed, which is why I think I'm actually a decent person to perform the experiment that I'm performing with this channel. What I'm doing here is I'm testing whether or not your average Magic player could play this game, at least on Arena, without spending any money. The reason why is because I think myself and probably a fair amount of at least your average Joe Magic players out there have gotten to a point where it's kind of hard to keep up as the amount of product, sets, expansion into universes beyond, which is just essentially doubled the amount of sets that we get every year. As the amount of product has increased, how much I get for my dollar goes down in terms of the gameplay that I get for that dollar. So, for example, if I spent $50 a month towards buying packs or gems on Arena, that $50 or however much I spend goes down as far as what it gets me relative to the overall game, because the game has got so much bigger and it's not gotten cheaper. If the amount of product that's hitting the market doubles, I have to double my spend in order to keep up with having the same relative ownership of cards that are out there. I've gotten the feeling that I'm just chasing the same level of gameplay, and I've kind of just gotten to the point where that's not sustainable for me. It's certainly not desirable. It's making playing the game less fun because I'm very aware of how much more money I have to spend in order to get the same level of enjoyment out of it, to the point where I just don't think I can keep on doing it. So this experiment here is, what would someone do if they are just getting into the game? What would their experience be if they heard about this game called Magic the Gathering and they were told, hey, you can go on Arena and play this online? What would their experience look like? Now, granted, most of those folks would then be willing to pony up some money, right? Like you're going to, right? It's not like there's nothing for free. So I'm not saying that like this should cost no money. What I'm saying is that because as time goes on and as the amount of product inflates, and therefore the amount of value you get for each individual dollar deflates, what if someone said, okay, well, let me just give this a try and let me do some free sample here and see how fun this can be without dumping a whole bunch of money in first. So granted, this is taking this to the extreme. What I'm going to do, as someone who knows how to play this game, who would consider himself an average player, if I were starting over from scratch with no money investment, could I even moderately keep up? Could I acquire gems and cards, open enough packs to make it worthwhile to even log on and spend my time, even if I'm not spending any money? This is not a knock against Wizards per se, right? They have a business to run. I'm just saying that from the money side, it feels bad. It feels bad to keep on spending the same amount of money or even slightly more, but because of the amount of extra product, to be feeling like you're getting slightly less for your bang for your buck. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to quit this game entirely because I love this game, but I can't keep on doing what I'm doing. Let me just go extreme on the other side. And so I came up with the idea for this channel. So what we're going to see here is, can I, starting a brand new account on Arena, can I go from absolute nothing to a point where I can keep on feeling that this game is fun without, spending all of my time doing it, which I can't do. I can probably spend on average around an hour a day. We'll see how long my wife agrees with that, but that's kind of the plan here. So who is this for? If you feel the same way that I do, or if you resonate with the things I just said about feeling like you're falling behind and playing this game for the same amount of money, yeah, this is kind of for you. And so with that introduction, let me kind of introduce you to where we're starting here. What you're seeing here is my first time really playing under this new account. I set it up like a few months back, and then the holidays hit and I didn't get around to actually kicking this off in earnest. So, but what you're going to see here is I set up an untapped profile. So this is No Money's profile, and you'll see I have nothing. I have no wild cards available. I have nothing in terms of vault. I've done nothing. This is really a brand new, fresh profile. And so let's see if I even get any awards here, but no, nothing for. Okay, so I have nothing. You'll see there's no wins, no achievements, nothing has been completed in this profile. They all that's been done with this profile is gone through the little intro arena, like, hey, here's how you play Magic, and so that's all that's been done here. So no gems. 2,000 gold, I guess, is the starter point. I have no wild cards to speak of, and they give you jump in tokens. No achievements, no mastery, nothing. I would imagine the store is going to be the same for everybody. They do start you off with some packs, which is cool, and I'll open those here in a second. Maybe I can start building up some of my vault progress. In the decks, I have nothing. The only thing that I have for decks are these are the starter decks that Arena gives you when you first join. So, like, for example, like, this is kind of all I have to work with are the cards, as far as my collection goes, are the cards that come in these pre-made decks. And so if I were to go to my profile, which is pretty blank, go to my collection, that's all I really have to work with, which I guess Foundations is really where they construct most of those starter decks from. Well, if you're following this channel, you probably have some experience with Arena. I will immediately after this kind of go through and click on all of these messages because I think I get some free packs out of these. Yeah, I sure do. Okay, cool. So this is going to be good. And it's good to talk through these here for anyone who is new to Arena and kind of wants to follow along in this channel to see what your experience might be. Is that this is actually pretty important because this will help build, at least if there are packs and things like that. I'm not going to be playing like Alchemy or whatever, but each of these packs provides like vault progress, or maybe gems if I get lucky. Sweet. And so it helps build like the pool of cards that I will have at my disposal to build decks from so that I can play with. So I'll go through all of these right now, and I'll do a quick cut to after it's all done. So this is pretty cool. So I went through all of the welcome messages and opened up all of the free packs you get to kind of welcome you to new sets and entice you to keep on playing. So I have all these unopened packs now that I'm about to go through and open. And so just, again, for science, here's where I'm sitting at as far as wild cards and vault progress starting out. Obviously, it's zeros across the board. We'll see what this looks like after I go through and open all of these packs. So I'll do this offline again and come back to you with the results. All right, so we're back. All packs have been opened. Looking at the wild cards and vault progress now, vault is at 1.1%, but I got a considerable amount of wild cards to work with now, so that'll be good for using later on. So let's now look at what that did, just out of curiosity for my collection. So I haven't refreshed this yet, so I started off with 255 cards out of the 15,000 that are standard playable. Not all those packs were for standard legal sets, like some of them were for alchemy and that kind of stuff. So let's see, if I were to refresh this now, I go from 255 to 692, so that's decent. I'll take it for free. There's all my wild cards showing up. Okay, cool. What's next? So what's next is to actually start playing. So the way I see it, the main way that I'm going to be building my collection is through playing, which is, I think that's not surprising to anyone. Getting rewards on the achievement progress, sorry, on the mastery timeline. I'm not going to be paying for the premium version, so I'm really only limited to opening up new packs by playing along the regular mastery timeline, and then also hitting these quest rewards here. So, and then obviously daily and weekly wins. So that's going to be it. It's going to be harder at first because I am fairly limited to a what did we say? Less than 5% of all available cards in the standard collection set. I am going to be playing standard most just because that's kind of, I mean, as far as all the different constructed formats, that's kind of the one where I probably have the best chance just because it has a more limited card pool. I would love to play limited. I just don't have the gold or gems to be able to, I think, play any of the limited formats right now. But those will be huge. Once I accumulate enough gold and or gems, probably gold because that's what you get more for playing. It'll be a big deal when I can get enough gold to enter into a limited event. And that's kind of like, those are high leverage for this type of experiment because winning a limited event can get me gems, which I can then use to get into either other events or spend those on packs or what have you. So right now, starting from the ground floor, I have really constructed as my only avenue to, without spending money, build up gold to get myself into some of those other like pay-to-play events, because the only currency I have is gold and gems if I'm not using money, and that's kind of the whole point. Now, I'm going to look through these decks here and see what I can, if any of them are worth taking directly into a standard event and trying to play that way. I'll probably start on the ladder just to see if I don't get blown the heck out. I mean, starting at bronze, it's going to be easier. Maybe there's some combination of cards I can come up with off of the limited pool that I have that I think could be slightly more competitive. So I'll take a look at the cards, come up with my first deck, and then see you for the first set of gameplay. It's exciting. Okay, so I've decided that I'm going to use one of the pre-made decks first because I think that'll be cool to see just how competitive on the ladder some of these starter decks are. So I've decided, after looking through a couple of them, that I'd like to try what's called Reckless Raid first. So without going too much into deck tech, generally the idea is to keep on attacking. If things die, it's fine, because there are some value cards like Slumbering Cerberus. It gets value from something dying, whether that's one of your opponent's creatures or yours. In fact, it needs it in order to untap if it attacks. The very few rares and mythics that are provided to you in these starter decks, at least in this case, they actually benefit from things dying, and it doesn't really matter if it's your thing or whether it's one of your creatures or one of your opponent's creatures. And then there are some creatures here who actually, like Infestation Sage, there is some value that you get off of it dying. Let's just try it. Honestly, I'm just excited to get into the gameplay and see how far we can get. All right, game 1 on the arena. Bronze 4. What do we got? Perforating Artists. I have nothing to play. I have no creatures to play before turn 3. Damn it. I don't think I can do that. Okay, I have a 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. Okay, I'll take it. I'm quite a ways away from the High Society Hunter, so I'll bottom that. Another land. Nope. Take it easy on me, Falutza. Alright. Dirgaff Ghoul pulled up a Burst Lightning. Okay. I want to be able to attack, so I'll take that out now. Alright, fair enough. Third land would be awesome, so I can play the Perforating Artist. Life gain deck. Okay. Well, Braid will help. Killing this will take not only the lifelinker on, it'll give them bad blocks, and it'll also trigger the Slumbering Cerberus to untap at the end, so let's do that. Third land would be great to get the Perforating Artist online. Four cards left. They're having no problems getting their lands. That sucks. That really sucks for me. Alright, third land is awesome. We'll put... 2/2 is good. We will send in both. See what they do. Okay. 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 That means they probably have more creatures to reload if they're willing to sacrifice both of those. Oh, damn. Well, that sucks. That's very helpful. I have to discard or lose 3 life. If they don't discard, that tells me they have creatures. Okay, so they have... Well, at least they can't play the Angelic Destiny, probably, this turn. That sucks. Okay. Well, they probably have another creature, so they're going to block, but I need to keep on trying. That was actually probably not a great idea to attack, but maybe he was... Maybe the opponent was a little bit worried about what I had up my sleeve. That sucks. So I think I get in with the 2 ghouls, make them... Yeah. I don't think I can risk the Perforating Artist at this point. So they're going to block 1. Now the trigger for Perforating Artist will happen. Probably discard a card. Okay, so they have nothing left. They're going to keep on blocking then. Ugh. That's rough. That is rough. Well... This will make them sacrifice something. This will make them sacrifice something off the trigger or lose 3 life. So they're probably, yeah, we're probably going to take the 3. Okay. So that's going to die. They're going to gain a life off the authority. I don't have nearly enough mana for that, so we'll do another Strongbox Raider. I'm going to... no. See what they do. They're going to sack the authority. Alright, they take the 3, so they're dead on board. Alright, they're dead on board. Nice. Nice. It's a good omen. First one's a win. Alright. Alright, there we go. 1-0, baby. Here we go. Game 2. Alright, so the plan here is play Gourmand on 2. Well, we'll see. It depends on what they play. Maybe I play the Cerberus. Get at least 1 attack out of it. Uh-oh. Someone who plays rare lands and a rare Get Lost that they can discard means they're probably playing with an actual decent selection of cards. Okay. So I've seen 3 rares so far, so probably in trouble here. Uh-oh. Okay, Jeskai. Okay, damn. I've seen nothing but rares. Well, they are playing a common tap land like me, so maybe that's a decent sign that they don't have the nuts Jeskai deck. Easy Flash God. That's cool. Them being willing to get rid of a Get Lost, though, tells me they have other forms of removal. So is this one of those deals where I don't block and then they punish me by killing my creature anyway? No? Alright, that's cool. I'm gonna flash something in. Alright. I will trade 2 damage for 4 damage. Ah, that's why. Alright, fair enough. Alright. What do I feel worse about getting countered here? How about... I'm going to play this because then I can map onto it if they don't counter it or kill it. Sweet. They're going to kill it. Alright. Dig for a land. Now it can block. It'd be really disappointing if, like, I'm sitting here in the bronze and someone whips out a badger mole cub or something. That would be pretty disappointing. It's like, come on, man. You know the deal. We're sitting here at bronze. I think he's already shown me more rares than I have in this entire deck. Okay, that's a good sign. Force him to kill it now if he's going to. Still looking for a land. See if he wants to chump. Nice. Nice. Okay, cool. That was good for me. Killing in response to a turn inside out feels good. Hidden volcano. Uh-oh. That's not good. Whenever you attack, target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains menace. I like that. It would take 5 mana for me to Hero's Downfall that anyway, so let's try it. You gonna counter it? Sweet. Let's go. Minachi is good. So now they have to kill probably the Battlesong Berserker if they had a choice. Alright, cool with that. You're dead on board if you don't do something here. Makes sense. The 5th land would be awesome at some point here. So let's just get 2 different threats on the board. You have a second Day of Judgment. Alright. Huh. You're kidding me. That's funny. Wow. Cannot get a 5th land, huh? That's funny. Tapped. Sweet. Let's do it. It's a creature. Let me guess, you drew another removal spell right on time. Easy, Flash God. Alright, well, I can do this and play a threat, so that's good. We'll see. I'm going to draw another answer off the top. Stock up. Really? Okay. Figured with a Jeskai. So he actually has like a pretty decent, like minus some of the land choices he had to make, like pretty formidable constructed Jeskai deck. Yeah, I mean, what do I want? Do I want... Like, if he draws a Jeskai Revelation, it's over anyway. So... I think I get the threat out to give some kind of semblance of a threat, maybe. Well, no, that has vigilance, so it's going to attack no matter what. Okay. Take 4. That's actually pretty good. I can put a +1/+1. Okay, so... Okay. That doesn't matter. Nice. Kill that. Alright, well. Nice. Oh, that's good. The hunter is in... The hunter is out of a braid range. That's great. That is fine. I think we're in a decent spot now. In fact, I think we're... I think we just win. Nice. All right, 2-0. Golgari Queen. Wonder what colors they're playing. Well, 1-drop, a removal spell. I can scry away a non-land. Let's try it. Let's see how this goes. Three tapped lands to start, huh? Plains from the Golgari Queen. Life gain. Yeah. Debating whether or not I wanted to lead with a burst lightning to stop any life gain, but Heir Apparent. Okay, so now I might need to kill that. So if they play another Heir Apparent, I think I have to kill that one. Heir Apparent deck. I haven't seen a Heir Apparent deck in a long time. Yeah, okay. I think I can't let that snowball. So the question is, how many Heir Apparents can they have? And then for me, do I want to play a Gourmand here No, it doesn't block well. I need to be able to kill that heir apparent. If they cast another one. Okay, I think I still hold. Just so that I can abrade that heir apparent if they play another one. Okay. Okay. So maybe they do not have any more heir apparents in hand, so I can kill that now. Playing the Gourmand will be excellent, because that blocks both of the hinterlands. Next turn, I can have 4 mana opened. Okay. In case I get another 2-drop, then I can play the Goblin Seer Slicer. So I think I hold now. I have a blocker for both of their rabbits. Oh, Jesus, of course. Alright, so what do? They can't, yeah, they don't attack. I can't High Society Hunter, so what do? Do I think I double attack. See if I can get an untapped land. If I do, I get a High Society Hunter, and I know I can because this becomes unblockable and I can draw a card. Okay, so let's do that. I can't really let this snowball any further. That's good too. Start building out a board. They're going to get a good attack in this time, which sucks, but then I can next turn play the High Society Hunter and maybe stabilize from there. They're not going to attack. Okay. Let me take one of these guys off the board. Yeah, so this is great because I can attack with these two. Sacrifice the goblin. Does the vampire get through? It'll trigger Seer Slicer. I think I play... Yeah, I'm actually going to play the Cerberus here. And then leave up the Downfall in case they have like a Sheltered by Ghost or something. If they play Raise the Past, they're obviously a life gain centric deck. If their removal is Sheltered by Ghost, I want to have a response. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll let them get in with this. If they have a Day of Judgment, I'm going to be super sad. I wouldn't put it past them. Okay, so they don't. Alright, I'm going to fire this off now. What do? Okay, so do I play the... I think if they had a Day of Judgment, they'd have used it last turn. My question is, do they have another Heir Apparent, which gets them a bunch more tokens? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4. I can't. I don't think I can die next turn. So, but I can get them close. So let's try this. Let's play this first so I can get the card off it. Because I am going to sack the token. That's good if I can survive long enough. This can block, that can, these two can block any of their things without dying. So now they're in a position where unless they have a Day of Judgment or another Raise the Past, they're in a fairly bad spot. I got 5, 6, 7, 8, essentially 8 unblockable damage per turn. Yeah. Okay. This might be a little too much life gain here. I am super fine with that. Okay. Okay. So, +2/+0. When it dies, return to the battlefield under its owner's control. So now I have to have... Okay, well, let's do it. Let's do it this way. Now I have to have blockers back. I'm down to 8, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can't kill them this turn. Gosh, what if I have another Raise the Past? Okay, so let's do this, this, this. Okay. So let's get a couple of blockers out here. Now we have a couple different options as far as how they shape their attack. It was not a good call, I don't think, to attack with the Hinterland Sanctifiers unless they plan on all-out attacking, getting both of their heir apparents killed, and then they have another Raise the Past in hand. That would suck. But at that point, I'm not sure if I can afford to play around that. I mean, if they have another... I mean, with 8 life, if they have it at this point. A Blood Witch. Okay. Huh. Alright, well that needs to die right away. Okay, so I think we win here. Let's see what the math is. No, I don't absolutely win here. No. Let's just go to the attack and see what they do. So I attack with this. I think I'm going to sacrifice both the Infestation Sage and this token. One to the Gourmand, one to the High Society Hunter, Cerberus. I think I'll leave the Seer Slicer Goblin back. I'll attack with Durograph Gould. So it's 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. So wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is going to be a 6 power, so it's going to get 6, 7, 8, 9, plus the 2 from Fake Your Own Death. I think I actually win here. Yeah, I think I win here. Yeah. I think I win here. Unless they have a combat trick. But that's 2, 3, 9 coming in, plus I can do Fake Your Own Death for an extra 2. I mean, they have to do other blocks than that. With this, I don't... Okay, there we go. Yeah. So 6, 7, 8, 9. So unless I have something, that's it. All right, 3-0. It's a good start. All right, so 3-0. I'm up to bronze 3. Let's go, baby. What does that put me at as far as the daily quest? Do I get any rewards from that? All right, got a pack. Let's go. Got some gold, experience points. There we go. All right. Love to see it. So we're 3 wins in. I think I'm going to pause here. Well, actually, hold on. Let's see what we got in this pack. Any goodies? Disruptor of Currents. Not bad. I'll take it. Nice. Okay, well, I think that's a good start. I'll go ahead and I'll take 3-0 as a good place to start here. Thanks for joining on this first video, everybody. Welcome to this channel. Wish me luck as we go forward for the 10 of you who are ever going to see this, probably. Yeah, appreciate you joining the ride. Let's go.